Hello, I'm Steve Peak with MidMajorMadness.com.
And I'm Tom Vive, OVCBall.net.
Today we bring you the top stories in the Ohio Valley Conference in this week in the OVC. I think this rule change will be a positive in the long run for the Power 6 conferences. The problem with this is that officiating throughout college basketball is not monolithic, and I'm worried about mid-major officiating that is already called tight. Officiating in the OVC just isn't very good. It's not because of lack of effort by the OVC referees. I know they're trying their best, but let's look at some simple math. On any given weekend, there may be, 150 games, which would mean 450 on-the-floor officials. And there just isn't 450 good officials in college basketball. So mid-major conferences like the OVC are left with the lesser of the bunch. Expect poorly called marathon-type games with foul trouble, free throws, shooting contests, and disgruntled fans this season, at least until the players and the referees can adjust.
And Steve, like you said, you've got those foul problems being called, and what's that going to impact? Your depth. Teams have to have depth. You take a look at a team like Murray State, 9 scholarship players, down to 8 with Zay Henderson going down. Morehead State, one of the most fouled teams in the OVC and in the entire conference with over 25 fouls called a game. Now you've got to be able to shoot free throws. Austin Peay can't shoot free throws. These impacts of the fouls are going to be a huge thing, and it's going to impact you foul-wise, depth-wise, and you got to hit your free throws if you want to win in the mid-major conferences.
Ignore EIU's nearly embarrassing loss to Olivet Nazarene and ask, why are regular season games against D2 and NEI opponents even scheduled? I know everyone in college basketball plays a cupcake schedule in November to rack up some wins, but EKU might be nearing diabetic status after their extra sweet serving in the form of Warren Wilson. The Colonels scored 114 points and tied an OVC record with 23s, but EKU is a top mid-major this season and is the favorite to win the OVC. They could compete with tougher teams than that Warren Wilson guy, and by the way, they play in a one-bid league. Is it necessary to rack up wins against lesser opponents? You're not getting an at-large bid because of the wins you got over NEI schools in the out-of-conference. Can we please make it a rule for D1 teams to have to schedule D1 teams once the regular season starts? No more Brescia, Bethel, etc.
The OVC has been hit with the injury bug already this year. Miles Taylor goes down just before the OVC tournament in March and won't be back until hopefully December. The Skyhawks need his presence down front because they've already shown they can't shoot without him on the floor. Eastern Illinois just lost Sherman Blanford, and the forward is one of the big pieces for the rebounding and for the defense. Chris Davis just went down for the Cougars at the St. Louis game at home in the blackout at the Valabine Center. He shows up on the bench in the second half in a walking boot. He shot a better clip than Isaiah Cannon did his freshman year. Now, without their starting point guard, we wonder what happens to the Cougars.
Murray State signed Jaquan McLeod. JSU signed a 6'8 forward. Suey signed 4 players 6'6 and taller. EKU and Morehead landed big recruits. Okay, the list goes on and on. Basically, what you need to know, the early signing period has been very good for most of the conference, and I look for some of these guys to make it immediate impacts next season. This is a conference that is continuing to grow, and with the success of Murray State a couple years ago and then the addition of Belmont, the OVC continues to climb the ladder in college basketball by attracting top talent. For Murray State, McLeod is a 3-star recruit, one of the highest the races have signed.
2 years ago, Murray State went undefeated all the way until January. Last year, the Colonels put it all the way to Illinois, and then they fell. This week, we're down to just 1. Morehead State plays tonight against Xavier, and they probably are going to be the last team to go down. With all these losses, you have to wonder, what is the OVC going to do this year? Is it going to be a spread-out year, or is it going to be as tightly packed as we expect?
And that'll do it for this week in the OVC. Be sure to check out MidMajorMadness.com for more updates.
And OVCBall.net.
And we'll see you next time.